I'm Dave, and I face poverty.
I'm Madison, and I face poverty. In my role, feed means literally scooping the food into bags, literally showing a volunteer how to do that. So it's like directly handling the food that I'm showing somebody how to bag, and that exact same bag of food is going to be used to feed somebody here in the United States or in a different country around the world. It's important to first meet the most basic need for food because it's communicating to the family that we see you, we see what your needs are, and we want to meet them. We're not just coming to you with what we think you need. We're looking at you and seeing this is what you need, and we want to meet you where your needs are and not just throw at you what we think would be good for you.
I think it's important to provide food for those who are suffering. First of all, like let's think biblically, right? Jesus said, whatever you do to the least of these, that you do also to me. We found out that a lot of people in our community, it wasn't that they needed the food. It was that they needed stewardship with what they had. Like they get food stamps, right? It's just the area we serve in. What that allowed us to do with one food pack, we go build that relationship, and we end up teaching people how, okay, take this food pack. Maybe you don't know anything about beans or anything like that. We spend time with them, helping them cook the beans, or even teaching them stewardship over their finances to make sure that they're using things well to better serve Jesus that way.
The reason it's so important to meet the basic need of food upon our first interaction is it's incredibly hard to reach the heart of someone who's suffering because they're hungry with the hope of sharing the gospel or developing a relationship with a local church. That food is a resource that opens the door to allow the church leaders or pastors or volunteers to come in and build that relationship.
The experience is amazing. I'll tell you, right? One instance for me is a brother here in the community, right? And we were talking to him and began to share with him, and he shared that he didn't have food. So I said, you know what? Is it okay if I drop by Tuesday? I'll bring you, I got a box of food, I'll bring it to you. Is that okay? He said, sure, that's fine, just call before you come. So I called him before I went, and he met me on the sidewalk, right? And I'm like, well, okay, all right. He wouldn't let me go on his porch. And I said, hey, I'll come back in 2 weeks and bring you another one. Is that okay? He said, well, yeah, if you want, I don't want to burden you. I was like, no, you're not burdening me, but I'll come back. I went the next time to deliver it. He was excited to see me. He let me on his porch. I'm like, man, he let me on the porch. I must be all right. So I went back the third time. I took a food pack, but I also took milk, eggs, and bread. This time he let me on his back porch. It was amazing to me. Blew my mind. Went back 2 weeks after that, again with another box with milk, eggs, bread, and some lunch meat. The fourth time, he let me in his house. And when I went into his house, I was like, in order for me to be in his kitchen with him, he has to trust me. And to know that I could sit there and just talk to him about life. He shared with me about how he lived in this community for over 50-something years and allowed me to pray with him and shared the gospel with him. And it was amazing. I mean, it was breathtaking, really.